I'm now honored to introduce our commencement speaker, Rick Guirlinger, who will join you as a member of the class of 2019 as he receives an honorary doctorate degree today for a lifetime of extraordinary service, both personally and professionally. Rick currently serves as president of Bork Services, a business advisory firm, and a partner at Schwartz Advisors, an automotive aftermarket consultation agency. He's a Michigan native, born in Detroit, who received his master's degree from the DeVos Graduate School about a decade ago. He lends his expertise and wisdom to countless boards, including Northwood University's Board of Trustees, and to various outreach organizations in the automotive aftermarket industry. So class of 2019, please help me to welcome your speaker, Mr. Rick Guirlinger.
Thank you, Dr. Pretty. And graduates, just so you know, I do realize that I stand between this speech and you getting conferred your degree, okay? So I will keep my words hopefully very focused for you. But much like you've heard already this morning from Dr. Panning, Dr. Pretty, Dr. Bent, Kim, and from Jacob, there's certain things that I'm going to share with you that, like all of us, and now that you have been here and been a part of this university, we all believe in the Northwood idea. So, this is a great view from being up here on the stage. Seeing so many fellow Northwood students, your relatives and your friends is a privilege and definitely an honor. I do know that. I am grateful for this opportunity to share a few words with you. It was 43 years ago that I had my own undergraduate commencement at Western Michigan. And if you ask me who the speaker was and what they said to my graduating class, I have no other recollection other than it wasn't too long. I will attempt to do the same. What did stay with me from that day was how quickly 4 years had passed, and that the reality was that I was not headed back to Kalamazoo in the fall. What lay ahead of me was the prospect of 40-plus years of working, the likelihood of marriage and children, and truly being a member of the adult society and no longer a student. But I felt prepared for each of these new roles because I now had 4 years of knowledge, and that made me supremely qualified to face any challenge, have all the answers, and success was a given. However, while I may have possessed my BBA degree in accounting, you accounting majors, and business communications minor, I did not possess much wisdom. And if you remember what Jacob said, he talked about wisdom. Wisdom of what was on the road of my future. So let me share just a few short experiences of how I have been fortunate enough to obtain some bits of wisdom over these past 4+ decades. But know from the start that I am not done gathering that wisdom, and it is the first experience I have learned. After a short career in public accounting, I started my automotive aftermarket career as assistant controller with an auto parts distributor in Bay City, Michigan, that covered the lower peninsula of the state. Within my first week of thinking, I was well prepared to lead this 30-year-old company. I got my most profound tenet of wisdom from one of the co-owners. He wanted me to see some of the locations of our company that we owned and a few that we serviced. We started out heading west on M46, most of you know where that is, and traveled through the towns of Merrill, Breckenridge, St. Louis, Alma, or Alma, however you want to pronounce it, the original home of Northwood University, by the way, in the Ami Wright Mansion for you history buffs, Edmore, Greenville, and other communities on our way to Cedar Springs and Grand Rapids. His message to me was a simple one, but very impactful, particularly as it relates to being an entrepreneur. Northwood's mission of developing leaders of a free enterprise society and the Northwood idea of how that free enterprise society benefits all. To quote him, Rick, there is no sin in making money. However, we must safeguard that everyone in our supply chain makes money, the manufacturer, the distributor, the store, the repair shop, because all of us are dependent upon one another. That speaks directly to Northwood's beliefs of individual responsibility, functioning from a foundation of ethics and integrity, and promoting and leveraging a diverse nature of enterprise. This simple statement from the leader of the company speaks volumes as to what was important, how we would conduct ourselves with all of our stakeholders, and the relationship we must have with all of them for all of us to succeed. The previous 4 years of book learning, summer jobs, and part-time work during high school and college did not provide me with such a concise view on how to conduct myself in the world of free enterprise. Clearly, this wisdom was attained by the owner over many years of being in business, dealing with the opportunities and challenges presented each day, and making enough of the correct decisions to have sustained for over 30 years. And within my first week of being a part of that company, I was gained and granted some wisdom. Pretty fortunate indeed. No doubt each of you will have the same opportunity to gain wisdom in your career, but you have to be open to accepting it and put it into action once it has been entrusted to you. The owners became my mentors as I embraced the lessons they taught me. A trust and respect between us became the bedrock of our relationship. You have been taught these same values at Northwood, as well as from your parents and others in your circle of influencers. Take what they have vested in you as you advance your career to the next level after this tremendous accomplishment of your graduation. And here's another one of those things you've already heard today. You are well prepared to obtain wisdom now. The second item of wisdom that I attained early in my career was regarding why I was hired. Having never hired anyone myself, I wasn't at that level in the CPA firm, up to joining this operating business, the statement was, Rick, I did not hire you to help me lose money. I can do it all by myself. Another one of those lessons not learned from a textbook. However, those words, again, had deep meaning behind their simplicity. I had been hired to help an enterprise move forward profitably so that it can sustain itself, service customers, provide employment and benefits, and achieve its goals and objectives. All of you have experienced the same lesson here at Northwood, as this is the essence of the Northwood idea, being prepared to shape the world. That statement of needing to bring value to an organization is why you have invested your time, your talent, and treasures into your education here at Northwood, and why it is now your obligation to yourself to shape your world. I could share many more instances of how I attained wisdom in my career, and some where I either fought it or did not see the blinding glimpse of the obvious, but I will share only one more with you, as it took the longest for me to embrace. Having adopted the principles of it is not a sin to make money, and I did not hire you to help me lose it, I found myself thinking that I always had to have the solutions to whatever business problem arose, and it was my obligation to have these answers to be a leader. For years, this is how I went about my responsibilities as the primary financial officer of our company. I had to be the one that could outwork anyone, would outthink anyone, demonstrate my leadership abilities and my skills. All was fine until we were acquired by another company. And I now had hundreds of people under my direction and a dozen fellow department heads that I had to interact with at the corporate level. My leadership practices didn't change until I was summoned to the CEO's office and asked a few questions about the decisions I had made that affected others. This is when I learned the wisdom of we, not me. I was complimented for my hard work, but admonished for not working smart. The lessons were that decisions on my own had impacted management, our associates, their dependents, and ultimately our customers. I had learned that everyone in our aftermarket supply chain was dependent upon one another, but I had not translated that same wisdom into the company I had been entrusted to help lead and had been hired to make money. And then the CEO told me this, and graduates, I think this is something to be sure you remember. It was somewhat profound for me. He said, if you want to sit in that chair, you must understand the responsibilities that go with it. And being part of a team is how all of us and all of our stakeholders will succeed. The we. So 3 distinct items of wisdom for me, yet all related. It was also a lesson in failure of how not to act and lead in a group, although I thought it was what was expected of leadership. Thankfully, I was offered the opportunity to go forward of being a part of the we and not finding me out the door. This brings us back to the Northwood idea once again. You have heard that I became a student in the DeVos Graduate School in 2009. That was when I was 55 years old, for you keeping track. And I received my MBA in December of 2011. As the Northwood idea states, and I believe you know this, bringing the lessons of the American Free Enterprise Society into the college classroom was transformational for me. I know I've been a much better leader because of this educational investment, and it's certainly shaped my world since graduation. But as you heard before, I am not finished gathering wisdom, and Northwood continues to be a part of my lifelong learning. I encourage you to take advantage of what your alma mater can provide you throughout your entire career so that you continue to be prepared to shape the world. So in a few minutes, we will recognize your academic accomplishments here at Northwood, and we will personally welcome you as fellow alumni of this amazing university. But there are a few others to recognize as well. First, as you heard before, you have not made this journey alone, as certainly many family, friends, faculty, and administrators of Northwood have been with you all the way, believing in your abilities even when maybe you did not. Correct? I have been fortunate to have my wife Annette as my soulmate for over 40 years, who has supported me unconditionally in life and in my career. Thank you. She is here. Thank you very much. To the moms in the audience, happy Mother's Day tomorrow, and congratulations to you and the dads for your unconditional support of your daughters and sons throughout all of the years leading up to today. To other family members and friends, all of you played a part in the success of these graduates, and please don't end your education or commitment to them. Many of you have been mentors to them and will continue to be as they open up a new chapter as college graduates. To the faculty and administrators, another job well done. And these freshly minted, soon-to-be alumni will always be a part of the Northwood family because of your efforts. President Priddy, thank you for all you and Gretchen have done for Northwood University and the students and the alumni you have so faithfully served. Second, each of you please take immense pride in what you've accomplished. It was not easy, but it wasn't supposed to be. You met the challenge, did the work, survived the experience, to be at this moment on Saturday, May 11th, 2019. Cherish it. Life is no dress rehearsal for anything. And last, please, go be the leaders of a global free enterprise society. But remember, those that have graduated before you from Northwood and those that have taught you at Northwood are on your team. Call on us to help us achieve your next success. You have shown us what you are capable of doing. Congratulations on your graduation from Northwood University.
Thank you, Rick, for sharing your life experiences and inspiring this group of soon-to-be graduates. Now, next, we'd like to present Rick with an honorary degree, and I'm calling on Dr. Kristen Stahauer, our Executive Vice President and Chief Academic and Chief Operating Officer of the university, and our Vice Chairperson of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Jennifer Panning, to assist in hooding Mr. Guirlinger. And while they're hooding Rick, let me read the citation we have for him. Northwood University is pleased to vest its highest honor on this occasion of its graduation ceremony on May 11th, 2019 to Rick Guirlinger. Because over 40 years you've remained dedicated to the advancement of the automotive aftermarket industry by providing visionary leadership, most recently as the president of Bork Services and as a partner in Schwartz Advisors, and previously as controller and vice president of strategic planning and analysis at General Parts International and as a controller at Parts Warehouse Company. And because you value education and earned your Bachelor's of Business Administration in accounting with minors in business management and business communications, and then went on to earn your Master's of Business Administration from Northwood University, where your belief and living example of the Northwood idea has led you to share knowledge with young aftermarket enthusiasts as an adjunct professor for the University of the Aftermarket. And because not only do you apply your business expertise at Bork Services, but also you purposefully consult and guide fellow automotive aftermarket business owners with your role as a partner in Schwartz Advisors. And because your volunteerism on many boards, such as the board for Bell Tire Company, for the board of the Research Triangle, for Northwood University's Board of Trustees, and other outreach organizations, truly embodies what it means to go mad or to go make a difference in your community. And because you believe education is a collaborative effort, which led you to teach and mentor young and up-and-coming executives in the aftermarket industry and earned you the 2016 Mort Schwartz Excellence in Education Award from the Auto Care Association. And because you promote and leverage global, diverse, and multicultural enterprise and creating relationships with clients that demonstrate your shared desire for all success. Therefore, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Northwood University, you are vested with the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations, Dr. Guirlinger.